Agnico is a gold producer. We've been producing precious metals for over 40 years. We're the fastest growing gold company in the business right now, growing tremendously. We've created a ton of value for shareholders over the last little while because we focus on that aspect of the business. Over the last 5 years, our share price is up over 300%. So we look after our employees, we look after the communities we operate in, and we look after our shareholders.
We're widespread now, and we have an excellent culture. We have a family culture in our company. We like to call it the culture of the heart, or for our French friends, culture du cœur, and that's how we live.
Dave started 11 years ago. Dave started when I became CEO because I was the CFO and I needed a CFO. And I think I met him. I kept him in mind, and then when the opportunity presented itself, I called him up and said, look, here's what's happening, and you know, I don't want to disappoint him, but the only reason that he's in this position right now as CFO of the year is because he's Italian, because I wouldn't have hired him unless he was Italian, because my wife's Italian. So there you go, Dave.
Well, I think the first thing about David, to be a CFO with Agnico, you have to be Italian. So that's one of the prerequisites. Also, I think you have to be conservative. That's another prerequisite. And thirdly, I also believe that you have to have a profound understanding of the mining business and some of the peculiarities of the mining business, which David certainly has demonstrated in spades.
I think he's got a healthy sense of place for corporate reporting and what it's supposed to do, without taking your eye off the fundamental basic business of the company and the growth of the company. I think that's how I would see his contribution to that side of things.
We grew up next door to each other in a part of Toronto known as Willowdale. When I was about 4 or 5 years old, he actually pulled me off the road in front of our house with a car approaching. So he actually saved my life.
I said, are your parents coming? Oh, no, they're not coming. I said, they're coming. You're going to invite them. Oh, no, they don't go a mile from their house. I said, you're going to invite them and they're coming. We don't have enough seats. Okay, we're going to get another table and they're coming.
You kind of see where some of the work ethic comes from. You know, Dave's father in particular was just he was a bull. He was just the strongest guy and an incredibly hard worker.
I think I'd say Dave is a very family-oriented guy. You know, he works very hard, but he's the kind of guy who'll put the kids first.
So then I said, okay, how have you filled up the tables? I says, how about your kids? Oh, no, they can't come. I said, well, why? Oh, this isn't for them. I said, of course it's for them. He says, oh, I got my parents to come. I said, and you're getting your kids to come too. So that's what it's all about.
He's a pretty fast runner. He likes to play like catch with my brother, the football. He'll practice soccer with me. He'll play around with my sister. Every Sunday he makes us pancakes or waffles. On the weekend we pretty much have every meal together because it's just, you know, family thing. We do it all the time. We went to Arizona. We saw the Grand Canyon, took a helicopter tour over it, and it was my first time on a helicopter. We did a bit of walking too on a mountain called Camelback Mountain. It was a really fun trip. The amount of time he spends on his BlackBerry is amazing. He's on his BlackBerry in the car, which despite it being against the law, he still does because he's got so much work to do. I'd say that's dedication over law breaking.
I needed a strong Catholic School Council chair to help get some changes underway and bring some new ideas to the council, and he spearheaded that, and we were a much better place for it. So, you know, he was the chair for a couple of years, and then he was also the treasurer, and both those jobs are very time-consuming.
Tell you a little about Dave. He has an insatiable curiosity. This guy just never stops, which is a good thing. He's energetic. He's got so many good qualities, so many good values.
I think it's personality first would be integrity and honesty, and you certainly, number one, that's the number one thing for a CFO, because we're dealing with the markets, and the market has to place their trust in the management, and they look for honesty and straightforwardness, and certainly that's what Dave is all about, and that's what he's presented.
David always has a smile on his face, always is upbeat, and always can put a proper spin on things, that you do feel comfortable dealing with him and you're able to have a casual as well as a professional relationship with David.
I think one thing that will come as a shock to some people is how funny David is. When I first joined the company, David's persona is always very businesslike, very precise, bottom line oriented, and rather abrupt. And as you get to know him and get more on a personal side, you realize he has an amazing sense of humor.
He's very team-oriented and very collaborative within his own team, but he sort of brooks no nonsense from the outside world. He knows what he wants and he goes out to get it. I think in today's world that's innovative.
I really wouldn't call it innovation. I think David's a frustrated mining engineer that really is acting out his life as an accountant.
I like to think of a quote I read recently. A much beloved professor at one of the universities said to his students, young and old, he said, keep learning like you're going to live forever. And I think that applies to Dave Garofalo. I don't think he'll ever stop learning.
He's been just tremendously successful, and I think the one thing I hear about him in the context of CFOs of other mining companies is just the amount of out-of-the-box thinking and tremendous involvement he has in the business.
On behalf of the Board of Directors, we congratulate David on being named CFO of the Year. Well deserved, and it's an honor that he earned.
We're very proud of Dave, and Dave, I continue looking forward to working with you in the future.
Dave, I just want to congratulate you for this great award, CFO of the Year. It's certainly well deserved, and Agnico, on behalf of the board, on behalf of the employees, and on behalf of the shareholders, I just want to congratulate you and wish you all the best as we all move forward together and continue to build a great company.